Mike?
Yeah, we're going to talk Dustin Hopkins in 1 second. And if you had bet on FanDuel, Dustin Hopkins over 2.5 field goals yesterday, you would have won a lot of money because that man was absolute money. You can snap in on all the NFL action this season with FanDuel. It is America's #1 sportsbook, also the #1 sportsbook of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Right now, brand new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's 200 bonus bets, win or lose. Place 5, win 200. It's simple math, people. Take advantage of it. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's literally no better time to get on the action than right now. It's easy to use. There's a wide range of options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much, much more. You can visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to kick off the NFL season. We showed you a winning ticket earlier in the show. A $6 bet turned into $70 on a same-game parlay on Ohio State. We're posting one of those a day on our Twitter page, so make sure you guys check it out. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL, an official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Guys, Dustin Hopkins, no words. Shows up to work. His weakness was he can't kick 50-yarders, and now he has the NFL record for most consecutive games with a 50-yard make.
Much to your dismay, I picked him up on fantasy.
I did too.
You might beat me because of Dustin Hopkins alone.
24 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them Dustin Hopkins points.
Dustin Hopkins had been 50% from 50-plus yards coming into this year. And I and many others were screaming, got to get Robbie Gould. What are we doing with Dustin Hopkins? Fine, better than the guy you got.
Yep.
But you got to get Robbie Gould.
Browns got this right.
They nailed it. I mean, the guy has been unbelievable. Now, there's still more games coming in much worse weather, but last week
and he's
against the Niners, you can't get much worse than that.
He's going to miss some. Let's be
clear.
Of course. We want to preface this. He will miss a few, and it might be in crunch time. We might be upset. But he's been balling.
But 16 of 18, and he had 350-plus and a 58-yarder.
And these aren't just sneaking over.
No.
I mean, some of them are hitting in the net.
Man, what you mean? Right down the middle.
Yeah. Most of them have been right down the middle. The one was a little off to the side.
Yeah. But we'll take that. It was 90 yards.
Hey,
at 58 yards, I don't care. At 58 yards.
Right.
I will say the confidence, he is going to miss, but the confidence that I have in this guy, I used to be a field goal for the Browns, even extra points, used to be edge of the seat drama. Now I'm like, yeah, he's got this.
It's the first time in a long time, early in the season with Cade York certainly, but by this point we had already, Cade York had fallen apart.
Yeah.
It's the first time since Phil Dawson that you have confidence in the kicker.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm terrified to see November, December, but we can only base on what we've seen so far.
Right.
A+ to this point. Now let's see when the wind starts swirling in November and December. Let's see what happens.
Now, if the Browns can go out and find at quarterback what they found at kicker, because we made a list of the kickers that were available, and I guess McNuggets had his name on one of the lists way down at the bottom.
He was one of the 10.
But he never got any real discussion from us. I thought they went out and signed D-Hop.
Yeah,
I heard the Browns got D-Hop. I'm like, it's about time we got a receiver.
And to be fair, his 50-yard field goals were crappy coming into this, so you'd understand why.
Yeah.
Right.
So if anybody told you that we needed D-Hop at the beginning of the season, the kicker and not the wide receiver, you'd be like, what? But that's the way it's worked out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this something. Is there, I don't know, you start to feel it. You know how you watch other teams and you watch teams and they may go through adversity and then you're like, how is this team winning? And then they keep winning and keep winning. You'd be like, okay, well, this team, they might got something going on this year. With all this stuff that's going on with Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson, the kickers look like he's actually got a kicker. The Browns are finally getting some calls to go their way. Does it seem like this is creeping into a thing where it just might be a little bit of magic
dust?
A little
That's why I said cardiac kids at the top of the show.
Little
That's
bit of
what
pixie
it's
No doubt. I mean, I think there's two things that could happen, right? This is Captain Obvious. When you have a team that maybe hasn't, in a lot of ways, shouldn't be 4-2 based on, with the quarterback stats, there's no way they should be 4-2. And sometimes a team like that, sometimes the rest of the play catches up to the wins, and you play even better, and now you're rolling off wins. Or it could go the other way, where the flaws of the turnovers, the flaws of the quarterback catch up, and you go the other way. But it feels like it's going to be the first one because of whatever. Now they're gonna have to get better quarterback play.
They have to address the quarterback. Before I'm willing to say there's anything magical about what's going on, you got to get better quarterback play.
Yeah.
At this point, like before the season, we were hoping a big year for Deshaun. At this point, I think we'd all sign for middle-of-the-road quarterback play.
I think.
Hey, give me Baker at this point. You said it
That's right,
earlier.
yeah.
I never thought I'd hear those words fall out of your mouth.
No.
You said the Browns would be dying to have
How
Baker
would you
Mayfield
say
in
that?
this.
He is a turnover machine. That doesn't make any sense.
I actually
threw another big pick in a big spot yesterday.
Who's
when they
played
were
better,
driving.
Baker?
He also drove them down to get a game, a go-ahead field goal or
No, he did.
a tying field goal.
After he had thrown a
at
pick.
the end of the right, but
And
again,
then they lost.
You take the good with the bad. What he's saying is, right now we're just getting bad.
Bull, I would hate to say it.
Yeah.
He's going to say it too.
No. He's not the answer.
Of course he's not the answer.
He'd be way better.
I mean, yes, he's better than what they've got.
That's
Yes.
way
the
better.
point.
I'll give you that.
way better.
But
That's the point I
the
was
point
making.
is you don't want a quarterback who's turnover prone. Baker is one of the most, if not the most turnover prone quarterback in the league. He's not the right answer.
No, of
But
course not.
Yes, of course, he's played better than
I'd
the
take
Browns
him right
played.
now. I can tell you that.
I would start to feel a lot like they're going into Seattle, right? And right now, for me, I think a lot of people, if you poll the audience, I don't think even the biggest Deshaun Watson fans have faith that you are going to see what you thought you were going to see this year. I think the ship has sailed on this year specifically. If you ask me,
And by the way, next year's the last year because if he doesn't do it next year, then he's finished.
if you ask me,
What do you mean finished?
He's finished. You got to move on.
You can't.
You can't.
He'll
Bull.
be
Of course you can.
No, the reason why
He'll
I
be there.
hated this trade from the beginning was because
Yeah.
you married yourself to him for 5
I
years.
thought, weren't the Eagles married to Carson Wentz?
Bull, this is the
That money different.
biggest deal
So
ever.
what? Doesn't matter.
You're going to cut how much is he owed in his last?
I don't know.
Against the cap. What is his
cares?
cap hit years 4
His
and 5?
dead cap hit next year is $200 million.
Yeah, you're not cutting.
he ain't going
I didn't
nowhere.
say they were going to cut him next year. I didn't even say they were going to cut him.
His dead cap hit in 2025,
What is that?
$136 million.
Okay, keep going.
All right, once again,
He's on this team.
once again,
72 million.
I never said cut him. I said if he doesn't play well by next year, you have to come up with another option. You can't just keep playing him.
You got to find your Brock Purdy at that point,
Yeah,
I guess.
like-
Yeah, you aren't kidding. You
The
do.
Browns-
And those are
SDTR.
once in a generation.
Now,
One more thing on the special teams.
Go ahead.
Overall, special teams have played well. Donovan Peoples-Jones is not a good punt returner. But remember all the people who were embarrassing themselves last year by trying to blame Corey Bjorquez for the kicking problems?
Yeah.
We had all these statistics.
Yeah.
That's all nonsense.
Yeah.
Corey Bjorquez, Dustin Hopkins is having no problem with him. And Corey Bjorquez is one of the best punters in the league.
Killing it.
He's great.
Killing it.
That's huge.
What was your point before Bjorquez? You were talking
Quarterback, Watson, moving on from Watson.
about. Yeah. I mean,
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
No, yeah, Donovan
Yeah.
Peoples-Jones. Why is he still returning punts?
I don't think they have anybody else. At this point,
I mean, Darden looked great 2 weeks ago.
just catch the ball. Just catch the ball.
I know, but
I mean,
thought-
he had a fair catch. I think it was Donovan yesterday.
Yeah,
had a fair
it was
catch.
a bad fair catch.
Yeah, there was no one near him.
I
It
know.
was 10
I think
yards,
they had.
but-
I think they had the rush on, and so he just made the fair catch. But he had plenty of room.
Yeah.
he had plenty of room.
But I said to Mike, I was like, yeah, just let him fair catch.
So
He
wait a
stinks.
minute. Can we talk about the Darden situation? Because he had 4 returns for 40 yards.
Well, but I think that I don't think he was active yesterday because they brought up another running back. I think.
Yeah, he wasn't active yesterday. He was
Yeah.
on the game day roster.
I'm sorry. I just need. You're just wasting that position right now.
And there
he's
was-
proven he can't do this. To me,
Well,
maybe
Yeah, I
they don't
can't
value
argue that.
They don't value it.
it's not his thing.
That's not
returning punts. is not
Returning
his
punts to
thing.
the Browns.
punches ain't his
That's
thing.
not their thing. They just want the fair catch.
Right now, that's about
it.
the only value he brings, and it's not his thing.
I hate how that sounded the default. If we don't know, we just gonna say that's
not
his
his
thing.
thing.
You said you had a question on the kicker, Mikey?
I do. So I got a couple things on the kicker real
Okay.
quick. First off, the Browns, since Phil Dawson, have struggled to be consistent at that position, right? And then some teams just seem to find a plethora of it. So the Chargers decided to move on from Dustin Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
They kept Cameron Dicker instead.
Right.
Well, Dicker's third in the NFL with the 90% connection rate.
Yeah.
He's only missed from 59 yards. His only miss on the season. He's 16 to 16 on extra points. So that team fell into
got
two
it right
very
again.
good kicking situations.
Got it right.
I asked them on the post-game show yesterday, asked G and Earl, when Dustin Hopkins walks up and is lining up a deep field goal, we'll use the last one, for example, last night, the 54-yarder. Are you calm? Does your heart rate go down? Does it stay the same? Does it go up? Because that's not a kick.
It goes up a
especially
little,
if
but with the Browns on extra points, I had to stand up. You know when you stand up when you're watching a game and you stand up?
That's
a
funny.
big play.
Yeah.
You're standing up.
Like-
With the Browns on extra points, I would stand up. I don't think I got off my chair. I was fine.
You know what? I still don't. I'm still not convinced.
I know you're
not.
not.
PTSD.
I know you're not. I've seen enough.
Now
look,
I'm waiting for the train. I'm waiting for the train to fall off the track.
The first time he misses one, Jay's going to say,
No.
I didn't feel that way till he hit the game winner against the Niners. That made me feel confident, and I was confident going into this
yesterday,
game.
I think yesterday's the first time where I felt wow.
I can't stress this enough. They've been playing this sport for 100 years? 75 years? What year is this? The 75th year?
Yeah.
I don't know. No kicker, out of all the hundreds that have done it, probably thousands, no kicker has ever had 5 straight games with at least a 50-yard field goal.
Now, in fairness,
and he's had multiple.
And now, in fairness, it's great. There may have been we said, well, Justin Tucker's never done it. He might not have had the opportunity to do it.
I don't know
I'm
that.
sure not.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that. Here's what I know.
Yeah.
For your coach to say, go on out there and do it, you've got to have confidence.
And
The fact they were indoors yesterday.
That's it.
Big time.
If you can kick in Cleveland Brown Stadium, and he's watched them kick there against the 49ers, he's like, listen.
In the rain.
In the rain.
Yeah.
He's 60 yards on this nice
That's
new turf.
child's play.
Hey, go ahead out there, bro. I tried him out there, too.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a lot of the team's got to have a lot of confidence in him right now.
I have more confidence in him after yesterday than I
Yeah.
did at any point. That was incredible.
Special teams has been good. The punting,
He's
the
going to be the
kicking.
special teams player of the week again.
Oh, he should.
I mean, I don't know.
should.
I didn't see any kicks or punts returned.
Unless Miles beats him for it.
No. my son said, Corey said, no, Dad, he's the AFC player of the week. I go, let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
He's the special teams player of the week. He's like, for me, he's the AFC player of the week.
Yeah.
But Miles is definitely going to be the defensive player of the week.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the Browns might have all 3 because P.J. Walker could be the offensive player of the
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Now,
Oh, Lord.
look, I know that we've said that we're going to push the quarterback down the road for this week, and rightfully so.
They're waiting for it. They want
Rightfully so.
it today.
And we're going to talk a lot about it as the week goes on.